Okay, gentlemen, welcome to another cooking lesson at CBC with me. I believe earlier there was an amazing gastronomic feast cooked up by Mr. Butcher, and I can still smell the baked beans. And that's what's great about our school. We've got boys from every walk of life, we've got families from every walk of life. And so I want to make sure that when we do our cooking videos, there's something for everyone. Now, as promised, today I'm going to do pasta alla matriciana. Okay, Matrice is a town just out of Rome. And my son's recently got married in Italy, and he's travelled all over Italy, and it's his view that Rome has fantastic eateries. It used to be that the Romans eat in Trastevere. Trastevere has become a bit trendy now, a bit Instagram focused, and although you can still get great meals in Trastevere, the locals in Rome now, they go to a place called Testaccio. So if any of our families are travelling to Rome, just remember that, Testaccio, plenty of great eateries out there where the locals go and savour the cuisine. So today I'm going to start with an optic. So this is a flow chart of the 4 pastas of Rome. The common denominator to all the pastas in Rome is cacio and pepe. Cacio being cheese and pepe being pepper. And it's a special kind of cheese. It's got to be a cheese made of sheep's milk, pecorino romano. Okay, and this pecorino, DOP, so all that means DOP is that this is made according to the traditions that people have made this particular kind of cheese for years, and those traditions are passed down from generation to generation. So pecorino romano, DOP, okay, and that's an oricho, which make fantastic cheese, and you get these at any really good deli. So I get mine from either Gallardi or Peaches, but that's your base, and obviously cracked pepper, right? That's cacio and pepe, which I'm not going to make today, but I make often for one of my children who is vegetarian. Now, if you follow the flow chart, if you add guanciale, which is pork cheek, it's not pancetta and it's not bacon. And if you remember from my carbonara video, those ingredients went straight in the bin. Families have been split apart when you use the wrong ingredient for these dishes. It's guanciale, and this one is Princi guanciale, but you can also get great guanciale from Frank's on Ray Avenue. So it's pork cheek, and it's full of lard and obviously seasoned pork that comes out of the cheek. All right, so it's important for that. So, cacio e pepe, add guanciale, you have grizia, and then if you add egg, you have carbonara, which is what we had last time. Not cheese, but egg. So the ingredients for carbonara is the cheese, the pepper, the guanciale, and egg. Today we're going to do a matriciana, which at the fork in the road, instead of adding egg, we add tomatoes. So this is a tomato-based sauce. And there's a special kind of tomatoes. I always use the San Marzano, which are fantastic tomatoes. Okay? So, our ingredients today. This is often done as a spaghettone or a bucatini, which is a thick spaghetti with a hole through it. Whereas my family, we love the mezza manica, which is sort of a half rigatoni, right? So mezza manica, get a good pasta, right? Try and get a garofalo. Usually the whiter the pasta, the better the pasta, the less it's been put through machines and all the rest of it. And some of the pastas that are well known aren't necessarily good pastas. So garofalo is a great pasta, but there are lots of really good pastas. Get a good pasta, that's your base. I've already chopped some guanciale out, and as you can see, we've already got some pecorino, right? And maybe I'll have to do a bit more. But right now, I've got some water on the boil, okay? So hopefully that's up full bore. I like to put the guanciale in strips like this. Some people do them in cubes, you can do them however you like. All the flavour comes out of the lard. So dishes like this never have oil. The oil comes out of the lard, and that's where the flavour is. So, first things first, we are going to put guanciale in there, and you need to put it on a low heat. Because what we don't want to do is we don't want to burn the guanciale, we want to sweat the guanciale. Okay? Now, while we're doing that, I'm going to just cut up a bit more guanciale. So guanciale looks like that. Okay, you've got the meat part and you've got the lard. It'll have a rind. The rind needs to come off. So you can see that fat there is starting to go a little bit opaque, and that means that it's sweating as we'd like it to. So whilst that's cooking away, the next thing I'm going to do is open up peeled tomatoes. Right, so make sure there's some Marzano peeled tomatoes. Muti's a great brand, and I get these ones from Peaches in South Fremantle. Okay, so I remember Mr. Butcher saying how difficult this is, so I'll try and follow his great instructions and not cut myself. Okay, so as you can see now, that's really, they're translucent, there's plenty of lard there, that stays in the pot, okay? What I do at the moment, what you might do, is just grab a little bit of that guanciale and we'll use that to garnish later. Right, and there's plenty of lard there, so what we do now is we add our San Marzano tomatoes. And I wish you could smell this because it just smells fantastic. Now I had a couple of really nice cayenne chilies and I've got them at home. And again, pepper, plenty of pepper. Just keep that going and keep stirring it for probably about 10-15 minutes. So I'm going to sort of leave that at the moment and just keep stirring it, and then when it's nearly ready we'll come back and I'll show you what that should look like just before you add your pasta. Always just keep stirring it, moving it away from the sides and the bottom so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. There's nothing worse than, you know, a burnt flavour right through the sauce. And in this motion, what happens, it'll thicken up, and as it gets cohesive, and when we do that, I'll show you what it should look like. You pull it away and it actually doesn't flow back into the space that you leave, then you know it's ready. Okay, so this is a fair way off because I've got plenty of sauce, 5 cans of Marzano, some Marzano tomatoes, but we'll come back when that's nearly ready, and in the meantime, get the pasta ready for boiling. Even though there's plenty of salt in the guanciale, I always put maybe a punch of salt in there. Our pasta today, recommended cooking time, 13 minutes, right? So we leave it in there for about 12 and a half. I love my pasta al dente. One of the problems when people go to Italy is they say, oh, my cappuccino is cold. Well, cappuccino should be 64 degrees Celsius. It shouldn't be boiling. Tea is boiling. And sometimes people transfer their tea drinking culture to cappuccino. Cappuccino's gulped down and drunk at the bar for most Italians, and never after 11 o'clock because it sits in your stomach. Milk sits in your stomach. And the other thing, a lot of people who aren't used to Italian cooking, when they go to Italy, say pasta's raw. Pasta should be chewy, should be al dente, but of course, this being a free country, you can do whatever you like. And if you want it a bit less chewy, then clearly go longer than 13 minutes. Because we're going to finish it off in the sauce, I always go a little bit under so that I can finish it off, or the cooking finish off in the sauce. So we're going to cook 1 kilo today, which is a fair bit. Again, an Italian serve of pasta is probably 100 grams. Okay, it's usually served as what's called a primo, not a main. And so 100 grams usually is plenty. If you're going to have it as a main, probably 150 to 180 grams. If you're really hungry, you might go up to 200, but that's a lot of pasta, as you'll see when we finish. So we'll just give that a stir. That'll come back to the boil again. And get back to our sauce, which is starting to thicken up a bit. Now, as we can see, our pasta's boiling away. Now, something I'm going to do, which some people don't do, they add the cheese last. I add a little bit during the cooking process, and the majority of it last. And the reason is it just thickens up. And Dad always taught me the more things that go into the sauce, the more taste that's in the sauce. So a couple of handfuls like that. And as that melts, it'll just thicken up the sauce a bit. And pecorino romano's got a bit of a sharp taste. And hopefully with all those other flavours, just make this a superb sauce. Mr. Butcher, what do you like at tasting pasta?
Better baked beans. Probably not enough salt, but other than that, I'm perfect.
All right, so Mr. Butcher reckons you're nearly good, so all I'm going to do is just take off a little bit of that starch water, keep that. I say this all the time, boys, that this is a dangerous part of the cooking process because although that water is 100 degrees, that steam is a lot hotter. So you've got to stay out of the way of the steam as you're moving it towards a colander and especially as you pour it. So face right away. Okay, doesn't matter if there's a bit left of water left in there. Pasta can go back in there. And then we bring the two together. So if I just turn that on low and I add our sauce, so we'll put in about half and we'll mix that in. Turn the heat right off now. Mix that in. More of our cheese. Finish that off with a little bit of guanciale. Finally, another touch of pepper. And there we have mezze maniche alla matriciana. But you can make it, like I said, with bucatini, with spaghettone, and fantastic to wash that down with either a Sangiovese or a Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. These are great wines, about $25, not a lot, but they are fantastic Italian wines and they complement the pasta beautifully. If you're a white wine drinker, you can either get a pink rosé, I think is good, and there's another one, I think a Grillo or white wine that also complements this meal. So the first boy, the first family that gets back to me and shows me that they've served this up is going to win one of these bottles of wine. But you can't drink it at school. All right, so your mum and dad will have to come and pick it up. And so, boys, get cracking. Whether it's baked beans, whether it's matriciana, whether it's carbonara, whether it's aglio, whether it's imbugliata, whatever we've put on, and I know Miss Kalani puts on regular uploads, just have a crack. It's really important that boys learn to cook. The joy of cooking, the joy of family, and the joy of just, the company of good food, and that's what life's all about, fellas. So good luck with it. I look forward to seeing you upload your version, and I hope you enjoy. Thanks for tuning in today.